You're listening to Townsquare Sunday. I'm Jim Phillips, and my guest is Karen Makowitz. She's the executive director. First of all, she's a registered nurse and registered social worker, but she's also the executive director of Project Independence Adult Daycare in New Bedford. She's joined by Kim Pimentel, who is a social worker at Project Independence. And for those who don't know, Project Independence is located at 250 Elm Street in New Bedford, right across the street from the Kearney Academy. And we're going to talk about some of those relationships that you've built up, which I think are pretty special. But welcome to you both, first off.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Project Independence is 37 years old. It was founded in 1982. Where were you located back then? I realize you didn't start work, Karen, with them till 86, but where was it located back in 82?
Yep, so prior to our move in 1993 to 250 Elm Street, we were in the basement of the North Baptist Church from 82 until the move. And so that was 1,200 square feet at the time, and I started in 86. And so we had about between 25 and 30 participants a day, and a much smaller program. And when we moved over to Elm Street, we have ended up in about 12,000 square feet. So we have the ability for small groups, different rooms for people to rest, to remove themselves from the stimulation that they might be receiving with the different activities that we do.
And for those who don't know, who are the people that you serve?
So we serve folks with disabilities as well as the seniors in our community who need some assistance besides the socialization, which is a very important piece of what we do, but we also have nurses on staff. So we are part of the medical model on the continuum of care for our seniors who have aging issues.
Elder care in a place like New Bedford is a pretty big issue.
It is.
Clearly.
Yeah.
And an organization like Project Independence is playing a major role, as we've said, since 1982. Overall, what's the mission of Project Independence?
So our mission really is to keep our folks out of the nursing home or any kind of an institutionalized system for as long as possible. So we provide the daily services at our program. We also provide assistance for the families who are dealing with the aging process with their loved one. We provide coordination of care. We provide transportation. The nurses, provide medications and teaching, and the activity piece of it really provides the socialization. So some of our folks that have had a stroke or had some sort of an incident medically become isolated and depressed, and coming to a program like ours really does alleviate that and gives them really a purpose for getting up in the morning and continuing to live.
And Kim Pimentel, in that mission, you not only include, I'll call this person a client, I kind of dislike that word.
We call them participants.
Participants, fine. You not only include the participant, but their families as well.
Absolutely.
And why is that important?
It's important because they're dealing with their loved ones who are at the program who maybe are declining in health or their disease has progressed. It's become a stressor on their family. So we really give them access to groups and supports that they can utilize as they kind of manage and navigate the aging of their loved ones or the illness of their loved ones.
Karen, is all your population over 65, or are there some younger people?
No, we do have some younger folks. We have some younger folks that have developmental disabilities, probably in their 40s now.
We actually have some folks in their 30s.
Oh, we do?
We do.
Yeah.
So some folks in their 30s and folks in their 40s who have some developmental disabilities.
The median age of the population in the program right now is about 71.
What are you, after 30-some-odd years, 33 years, what are you most proud of with this agency? I mean, it's been there a while. It's very workmanlike. You go there every day. You provide services to people who need them. What are you most proud of?
I'm so proud of, I can get teary over
I know, I just said this is just going to get emotional.
So I'm so proud of the flexibility that we have endured over the years, that we have been able to, because we're a nonprofit and we have a very supportive board, we have been able to change our services, increase our services to meet the needs of our folks as they age in the community, in order to keep them home. So I'm so proud that we have had that opportunity to do that, because the point is for us, our mission really is to keep folks engaged in the community with their families for as long as possible. And we have been given that opportunity to do that.
And again, I saw a number, 400 people, your participants you've served
right.
over the years. Is that pretty much a solid number?
Yeah, that is a solid number. Mm-hmm. That is a solid number. We currently have about 70 folks who attend our program during the week. We average about 46 or 47 people a day. We are open 6 days a week. We're certified for 70 a day, but I'm not interested in really serving that many, because you want to keep it manageable. You want to be able to meet the individual needs as they come up. Now,
the new programs, the programs that have been devised over the years, I'm sure a social worker has some input in all of that.
Sure. We try to really utilize kind of holistic approaches to things. We do small groups for individuals who maybe cognitively aren't, require more supports. We try to really structure care plans for individuals to meet their very specific needs. We have a lot of folks that come in and do meditative stuff with our participants. We do aromatherapy stuff and sound bowls. It's not just about their physical well-being. Certainly that's why the nurses are there. That's why they're there. But we want to really support optimal, holistic, general well-being for our folks.
You're listening to Townsquare Sunday. I'm Jim Phillips, and my guest is Karen Makowitz, who is the Executive Director of Project Independence, Adult Daycare in New Bedford, and Kim Pimentel, who's a social worker there. Kim, what are some of the projects that people are doing at Project Independence, and do they relate to the community somehow?
Absolutely. So, well, speaking again back to kind of holistic groups and things we do, we have pet therapy for our participants. We do things like that. But we also try to connect them to the community. The school's right next door, so we'll do some intergenerational stuff, and we'll have students come over and do an activity with our participants. They really enjoy that. We also recently had some folks bake some, I think it was brownies, and they brought it over to the veterans home. So we try to really connect our participants to New Bedford and the surrounding communities to really give them a sense of kind of giving back and having a sense of purpose.
Now let's talk about the intergenerational programs with Carney, because I think that's pretty special. Now, many of these children may have grandparents who they see at home and all of that, but you're broadening their world, and you are educating them at the same time to the needs of the elderly and the disabled. And, if the participant is learning and loves it, I think children probably just the same. Right, Karen?
That is true. We, I'll tell you a little bit about some of the history for our intergenerational programs that we've done. We did years ago with Dante Vina from UMass Dartmouth, an intergenerational art project with the Alternative High School on Hillman Street. And that turned into a 4-year project. And the benefit of that for those students at that time was they did some history of New Bedford, of the different Cape Verdean, the Portuguese, fishing, all of that history related to school. And then they came and visited with our seniors, and they developed relationships. And the goal for that really was to bridge the gap, to really help on these younger people to understand some of the disabilities, some of the aging processes, and to teach them really about understanding and empathy, and to help them to embrace the neighborhood, embrace our program, embrace the seniors, rather than other things, that they could do.
Sure.
And we also did some work with Haymack at Hayden McFadden in one of the third grades, where the students came over to our program. Currently with Kearney, we're just reestablishing our relationship with them. So the students have come over 2 or 3 times over the course of this year, and they have provided some entertainment, and they did an activity with our seniors.
So, that's all, I think, pretty important stuff. How does your agency help your clients stay in their homes and in their communities? I know that's part of the mission. You provide a place for them to go with structured but hopefully positive kinds of activities to keep their minds working. But how does that help them stay in their homes necessarily? Kim?
Well, it's independence within a structured community setting. So these are folks who, if they were home, and even with home supports, would be isolating. That could affect their mental health, their morale, even, disease progression, all that stuff. They come to our program. They're there all day. So people who wouldn't necessarily have access to a caregiver, or the caregiver's, at work, they're away, they can't be home with this individual. Their safety is being insured, their medical needs are being insured, just like they would if they were in a nursing home. But then they're allowed to go home at night and have dinner with their family, or whatever that looks like.
Do you assist participants if they need something at home, if they need a home health aide, if they need more than one home health aide, or things like that? Do you assist with that, Karen?
Yes, we do. We do. So what will happen is that if a family member realizes at some point that they need more help, that the family member needs help to care for their loved one, we know the agencies to call. So we'll either provide them with the information, but oftentimes the families are stressed. They're living their life, they're managing their families, they're working potentially, and they're also assisting their parents or their aunts or uncles or something. And so we reach out for them. So we reach out to the local ASAP, Coastline Elderly Services, or to some of the other VNA programs that we're aware of. Most of them provide health aides. Some of them already have some services in the home. So we're able to tap into that for them. And so it decreases the anxiety on the family for us to pick up the pieces,
You're funded through the state.
We are.
Okay, but you do some local fundraising as well?
We do. So for many years, we did our craft show, and that was very successful. Over the years now, we're trying to do some other things to raise some money. So we currently do a spaghetti dinner. We often do it in October. We don't have a date yet, but that is something that we will be promoting and advertising. And that money helps to support our activity program so that we can continue to provide some of the things that Kim mentioned about we do yoga, we do some meditation, we have music therapy with art, and the pet therapy. So those things do cost additional monies for us.
You've got some partners in the community, some people who may do something like what you do, and you've got the partner, I think, in Kearney Academy, a wonderful partner. Well, what other partners do you have in the community? Kim?
Well, we work with, because we are referring folks out to different visiting nurse services or looking at, maybe they require physical therapy. We're utilizing, like Karen mentioned, Coastline. I believe the pet therapy was through the Humane Society.
Humane Society, yeah.
We're trying to connect with the schools. I think of anything else.
Yeah, well, we have relationship with Senior Whole Health locally, some of the other insurance providers that provide case management for our folks. We also work with the housing, like Trip Towers, New Bedford Hotel, Melville Towers, and also the local council on agings, Dartmouth, the New Bedford, and Fairhaven. And the social day. So there's a social day in New Bedford and a social day also in Dartmouth that we partner with.
All right. So what's coming up? 25 years in the building is a little ceremony for that?
It's in my mind. It's in my mind to do something, to have some sort of a celebration because, when we made the move, as much as it was great for us to make the move, it was a transition, and because I had never done that before, and neither had the staff nor our participants, we went to a larger building, and it actually caused some chaos and stress on everybody. And now we have filled the whole space, and we utilize the whole space. So yeah, we will definitely do some sort of a celebration in relationship to that.
All right. Well, thank you both for coming in. How long have you been in the nonprofit world?
Well, I've been in the nonprofit world for over 15 years. And I'm fairly new to Project Independence. And I can't say enough about how impressed I am.
Yep. Karen, you've been doing this for a long time.
Yes, I have, and I've grown with it. I've loved it. It's provided me with, for me, this has become my mission, to really serve the people in the community, to provide them with the best care and the best options that we can for their quality of life. Because, I'm aging,
We're all aging.
Surprise, right? And I think about that. I think about my loved ones. How would I want them cared for? And I think about myself. How would I want to be cared for, and what would I want to be offered? One of the things I wanted to say was that we do speak Portuguese, Spanish, and Creole at our program, and we do have staff who are able to communicate with our folks. Multilingual, right.
My guest has been Karen Makowitz and Kim Pimentel of Project Independence Adult Daycare on Elm Street in New Bedford. Best of luck to you both.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in. That's it for Townsquare Sunday this week. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks also to Casey, Sylvia, and Mike Roberts for helping get this program on the air and on the web. Until next week, have a great week and a wonderful Sunday.